Well, that's the end of Paul Tully's volcano, Rhyolite Volcano. And the other two volcanoes are a different kind. And they're going to have a different movie. So make sure you subscribe to Century New Technologies Company Incorporated and 22nd Century New Technologies Company. Make sure you subscribe to both of them so you'll get all of our videos that come out. So let's go to Paul Tully's extrusive volcano.
I'm going to show you where to find gold in the most unlikely of places. I'm going to talk geology and show you some historic places along the way. All that and a whole lot more coming up. Wow, just look at the geology around here. Isn't this perfect for gold deposition? Now, we're up in the San Francisco Mountains, and if you know anything about these mountains, you know that what? Oatman, and you got Gold Road, which is right to the south of us. They produced a lot of gold. Ooh, and some of it free mill too. Anyway, this is associated with the Black Mountains. You can look it up on any map. And the interesting thing about this geology is there's a lot of volcanic activity that was going on. You can tell just by looking. See that mountain behind me? I know it don't look very spectacular. You see that black band running through it? Some people would think that's a sill. Remember, you got dikes and you got sills. That's not a sill because it didn't form inside the earth. It's part of a lava flow. You could tell because the bottom section has been cooked, not the top section. On top of that is what? Rhyolite. It's a light colored volcanic rock. It's an igneous rock and felsic in nature. Remember, there's 3 different types of igneous rock. Felsic, intermediate, mafic, and then of course you got ultramafic, and we'll talk about that later. You have all these volcanic necks. This entire ridge is nothing but lava flows, and then as you get over to Oatman over there, you just see these beautiful formations. All those were part of dikes and volcanic necks, or plugs as they call them. They came up, and then of course the outer cone was a lot softer. Most of it's going to be ash flow, and it eroded away, and it left these beautiful formations behind. That's why they're all rough and gnarly and jagged looking, and a lot of them are kind of a beige white color, while other ones like this ugly one here is dark. That's more of a mafic, basaltic neck. Now I want you to take a look in the background. You see that, boy? What do you got? You got 2 plugs over there. They're dacite, which is in the rhyolite family, and you see a lot of hematite at the base. You're going to find a lot of gold out here in the volcanic ranges that are associated with rhyolite. Now don't get me wrong, you're going to have gold associated with mafic rock too, but it's going to be a different deposition model. But for the most part, we found more gold when it's associated with rhyolite than when it's associated with basalt. So I'm going to show. Now I'm working with lode gold, so I'm going to need a jeweler's loupe, but let me do a quick inspect. And I got one little speck there where my finger is, and there's a little tiny one there. Now, when you're inspecting lode gold, always bring a jeweler's loupe with you. I like using it 10 times. You don't need anything stronger than that, because sometimes you won't be able to see it with your naked eye. Now there's little tiny pieces of gold in there too that I couldn't see with my naked eye, but I can see with my jeweler's loupe. And that's why it's very important when you're chasing gold, you carry a jeweler's loupe, even with placer. So we got gold coming out of the lode deposits, and we got gold coming out of the old tertiary zones. All right, now I know you're chomping at the bit and you want to know, Jeff, what is the deal with 137 and 21? It's real simple. When you're looking for any type of lode deposits in volcanic zones, especially out in Nevada where you have a lot of epithermal deposits, I want you to localize some of your volcanic shields and cones. And then I want you to draw a circle around it, and then from that go out 1 mile, 3 miles, 7 miles, and 21 miles. And then what you're going to do is you're going to overlay that map with a geological map, and you're going to look for any type of intrusions that are in those zones. You're looking for anything that has to do with granite or granodiorite or serpentine. Just take my word on that. 1, 3, 7, and 21. Found a lot of gold deposits that way that were missed, and sometimes they're going to be inches below the surface. So take a good quality VLF out there so you can scan, because it's going to be able to pick up things just below the surface that most people have missed or walked over. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and if you do, I want you to call that migmatite. It's when the granitic gneiss has been subjected to pressures and heat, has been folded and crushed. It hasn't melted yet because it'd be an igneous rock then. Still
The Adirondacks Mountains.
But yeah, that's
rises
really nice to see.
12
I love
inches
this
in 100
metamorphic rock.
years,
Remember I
so
told
there's
you
a
I
lot of
found most of my
pressure
gold
in there.
metamorphic. Then after
Should
that,
be
granite
metamorphic.
or granitic rocks, and then sedimentary. And granite, of course, is the igneous rocks. Anyway, if you remember, this is a wash where we found those flakes.
I have to put in an advertisement now for the Adirondack Mountains. Hi, my name is Gareth Tooley. I'm the CEO of 22nd Century New Technologies Company, Incorporated. I got this name a long time ago because I looked at small, very small stocks. One of these stocks made scrubbers for CO2 scrubbers for electric coal burning smokestacks. These scrubbers took out CO2. This is what Biden is worried about. Everybody knows that they made fire extinguishers from CO2 because the CO2 would go down to the ground and stay there and smother the fires. And a long time ago, there was a guy that had tuberculosis. He went up to the Adirondack Mountains. In 3 weeks, he was cured. In that 3 weeks, when he went there, he thought he was going to die. So he made a tuberculosis hospital where they fixed tuberculosis. That's how clean the air is up in the Adirondack Mountains. And when it gets 20 to 30 degrees outside, the cold weather takes all this CO2 right down to the ground. And Captain Joe said, when you look up in the air, you see all that, see a jet go by, and it has all them trailers up there. That's the same thing as you see when you are scraping off your window, car window in the morning. So just look up there when you see, so you can think of you can see these airplanes, you can think of these saving the planet. Because all that stuff was coming down from the air, right down to the ocean, and helping the seaweed grow. Captain Joe says, when you look up the air and see the jets going by, and you see fumes behind it, that's just like your breath when you're outside cleaning your windshield wipers. So you can think of Al Gore when he's flying around in his jet, He's helping the planet because all that jet fumes, CO2, is going down to the ground and into the ocean. And he's saving the seaweeds to regrow. So he's saving the planet. Captain Joe says, when you look up the air and see the jets going by, and you see fumes behind it, that's just like your breath when you're outside cleaning your windshield wipers. So you can think of Al Gore when he's flying around in his jet. He's helping the planet because all that jet fumes, CO2, is going down to the ground and into the ocean. And he's saving the seaweeds to regrow. So he's saving the planet.
Let me just go right down the line real fast. What % of our atmosphere is CO2? Take your best guess. You don't have to be accurate. All down the line.
Repeat that question.
What % of our atmosphere is CO2, carbon dioxide? Wild guess. It's okay.
About 5%.
Right?
I'll just follow you then.
We'll go 7. I'll see their 5 and suggest that we know that transportation causes 49% of CO2, so that's why we're all working on energy transition.
All right. So what number do you think it is?
5.
Right? What about you? I didn't hear you, Mr. Dreyer.
7.
7. Do you have one, Mr. Boyd?
So we got a 5, 7,
Price is right.
8. I'm gonna
Okay.
get the high end.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, and I don't mean to I put you on ice. I ask a lot of people that because all we hear is climate change, CO2, CO2. I heard a couple of you on the panel saying you're looking to change your vehicles to electric, even though we don't have the electric grid. And me as a farmer, I wouldn't be real happy about running out and replacing $300,000, $500,000, $1 million pieces of equipment because someone wants it to be electric. The answer is 0.04%. Not 1%, not a half of a percent. It's 0.04%. And it's gone up from 0.03 over the last couple decades. This is what we're being all contorted into doing, is this tiny change in CO2. If we get below 0.02, plant life starts dying off. So let me ask Mr. Boyd.
Make sure when you're going to look for mountains around, don't let anybody tell you. Make sure you look at Sunday Rock, how weathered it away. Don't let anybody tell you that this little rock is much stronger than a big mountain that is already weathered away. Here we are at Sunday Rock, an Adirondack landmark and legend. This glacier boulder, twice preserved by local citizen, marks the gateway to the Great South Woods. In the frontier days, it was said there was no law or no Sunday beyond this point for all animals, I guess, and fishing. Placed on the state and National Register of Historic Places 2010. So this came by a glacier. I think it was about 11,000 tons. So in order for a glacier to get here this standing up, South Colton is about 1,100 feet high. And there is no mountain, so it had to come from Saint Lawarence River. Across the Saint Lawarence River. There's no mountains between here and Saint Lawarence River that can come from here, from there. And going down Waterman Hill, you can see a long ways, no mountains. Take glacier stones from there. It says there 60,000 pound glacier boulder was used to a landmark in the Indian time. So 64,000 pounds. Just think how high the mountains had to be on the other side of Saint Lawarence River. I know there's no mountain from Saint Lawarence River to Ottawa. There's no mountain from Saint Lawarence River to Ottawa that is high enough to push the glacier stones onto here. So it had come from Paul Tully's volcano, or one just like that. Here we are over Waterman Hill, top of Waterman Hill, overlooking the Saint Lawarence River Valley. You can't find a glacier mountain that's tall enough to put Sunday Rock where it is. And nobody around here has told me where that glacier mountain is. Nobody's ever seen it. Saint Lawarence River Valley is about 30 to 40 miles from here. You can go 1 hour drive to Ottawa, Canada, capital of Canada. You've never seen any glacier mountains. You go to Montreal, the same thing. That's about 2 hour drive down the Saint Lawarence River. This is the elevation of Canada, 2,528, 1,896, right here somewhere. Adirondacks Mountains, I'd say right there somewhere. You can see Hudson Bay, a little bit yellowish and green. You can see there's no mountains that is high enough in Canada to bring down from Canada, all the stones and stuff like that, the Ice Age. So, bring it down. So South Colton, somewhere 1,796 feet. (2,200 feet). (955 feet). 1,434 feet. 976 feet. 1,006 feet. So you can see so there's no Ice Age mountains that can bring down the gold, and that they bring down the mountains. That's pretty close to South Colton. So there's no mountains that you can see that bring the Ice Age down to us. I give you a shot going downhill. So I learned from Jeff Williams. There's two kinds of volcanoes. One that stays in the ground, they don't make it out, intrusive. One comes out extrusive. Also, I learned from my forestry school that the Adirondack Mountain rises 12 inches in 100 years. So I know that there's pressure underneath it. So I learned also from Jeff Williams that when the rocks got pressurized, they make lines in them. And down there where I was putting up cameras to catch the Kenyan lynx, I noticed that there was a stone that had lines just like a tree trunk, slab of trees. Here we are, low, dirty rhyolite rock. This is where they came down from the hill. These stones were made underneath pressure in the volcano. They was making a new kind of stone. Yeah, blew out of the volcano. But one time this was in the volcano and it came out. I found it before I knew there was a volcano here. Because I was going to know if I want to put a camera up here because the Canadian link. I come over here and found this, and I remembered it even though I'm 80 years old. And before I had it over there. Okay. So they don't have to stay years and years before they come out. And you see it because it goes out of the volcano. This rock is banded rhyolite. So this is Paul Tully's extrusive volcano. You notice there's not any soil because the volcano is too acidy for anything to grow on it. So there is the Kenny Trail. and Charlie's Trail. Now ask me how these lines got here. What volcano made that? I give you an overview of how I found Paul Tully's volcano. I named it after my son. I was walking along down there to the stream, and with my Falcon metal detector. It goes off on gold. Pyrite doesn't make any difference. Black sand goes off when it's coming back. So using this, going on all my rocks down there, it sounded off. And I looked at it and it was red. Okay, so I broke them up and carried them up the hill for my son. And I got kind of tired of it kind of quickly. So the next year, after he passed away, I went down there and found the rock. In the meantime, over the Blue Mountain Lake, the Blue Mountain Road, I found what rhyolite stone looks like. So when I come here last year, I see the stone was rhyolite. And I knew rhyolite coming from a volcano. Same volcano as Mount St. Helens that can blow up and all over. So I learned in my forestry school that red pine trees are not native to the United States. And back in 1950, the CC camps, Conservation Corps camps, planted all over the trees. So back 1950s, 1930s, it was 1930s, they planted all these trees. So when I came here, I knew something happened to these trees, that the ground must have been all sand. That's why they never planted them. Why they was planted, and nothing grew on them. And rhyolite is the acidy stone. So the acidy stones came out here, came out of the sand, acidy sand, so nothing to grow on them. This is state land, Donovan state land, Donovan Road state land. And right at the bottom, as far as you can see, is a state land gate. They close it up in the spring so the road don't get hurt. There's Kenny's Trail and Charlie's Trail. Another geologist said volcanogenic massive sulfide ore deposit. That could be any kind of ore than sulfides. I found this where Kenny's and Charlie Trail separate. I brought it home and I seen somebody have it on a computer. It looked just like it. Also, I seen some where the mountain bikes, ride a half a drum rock. Looked like it was going about 100 feet or plus. Well, they rode it for a long ways. I see some on that also. Glaciers come and take off the top of the soil. See, it's not the top of the soil that they took away. Just a volcano. Did a volcano happen more than once? All the mines across it. We gotta go over to that hump and see what happened there. When this 80-year-old was walking around, found my dikes, looking for my dikes, I came here and it looks like the volcano pooped out rocks. One little spot, it ran down the hill. And it made just think what the bikes went down the hill. Volcano looked like pooped out lava. Went right down the hill. I gotta go, this 80-year-old's gotta go to a different place, a trail, to find my dikes. More rhyolite. Looks like a little ash. Volcano ash. At the end of the wall, the old farmers put this, when they farmed, they moved the stones over here to the wall. Looks like some kind of rhyolite. The old volcano pumped out stones. And all done stopped. Also over there by the jump area, the same way. This bike trail cut right through here is red dirt. Out west, that's when they was looking for gold a long time ago. That's one thing they was looking for, red dirt. Gold was in the red dirt. I think it's some kind of iron long time ago. And iron was the mother of God, mother of gold. Okay. Where to find gold? Rich gold in red dirt. Asked Jeff Williams 11 years ago.
Hey everybody, Jeff Williams here with AskJeffWilliams.com. Now today, come here, take a look at this. This hill produced somewhere in the average range of 2 ounces per ton of rock, which is pretty good, especially at today's prices. So what we're gonna do is we're going to remove a large single little flakes in it. I'm hoping the deeper. It's kind of hard to run something like this. Oxide. You gotta earn it. Wow, that is heavy. Ah. Okay, so we went ahead and we collected up 5 buckets of material out of that seam of iron oxide. And as you can see, it's pretty brittle. It's mostly clay and iron mixed together. But of course, the gold is trapped in these little seams right here.
Here I am at Paul Tully's volcano. I've been here 3 times looking for the dikes. I couldn't find them. So this time I'm here, make you aware what the dikes look like. There was 2 rows of rocks that came up from the center of the earth. Rows were looked like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And you have to make, if you find them, you have to make decisions. Did the volcano, did they come down off the hill and stuck like this? And what I learned from Ask Jeff Williams, a dike was like come out. He showed a dike that was just came out of the ground and it was about 10 foot high. And he said there's 2 kinds of volcanoes, intrusive and extrusive. Extrusive one comes out of the ground. So we're going here to Paul Tully's volcano, exclusive volcano. Public Land Laws, PB number 82, Notice Discovery, Filing Fee, Bounty, and Discovery. Any person discovering a mine or a deposit of gold or silver in or upon private lands of the state, and any citizen of the United States discovering a mine or gold or deposit of any mineral in the upon state land may work it. So that's saying you can look for it and keep the small ones. But if it's big enough to work, you can work it by getting permits. Fee of $50, and it was signed 1945, April 16th, 1945, 22nd century, my company name on it. This is Adirondack Park Agency. Geology of the Adirondack Park. The Adirondack Mountains are very different in shape. They're rounded. All that garbage talking. They're 5 million years old. They're made of ancient rock, but that rock is a new rock now. It's been here only Adirondack's been here only 5 million years. And 100 million years, the mountain, the 1,000 million years old, the Earth has been around, but the Adirondack's been here only 5 million years. So it's only been here 5% of the time. The Earth, 1,000 million years, 200, 5%. Oh, down here it says birth of a glacier. I'll prove to you that there's no glaciers that moved any rocks or minerals from outside, because Sunday Rock is a 11,000 ton rock. Okay, I think it's 11 ton rock. A 250,000 years, okay. And Colton is 1,000, let's say 300 feet high, 1,100 feet above the ocean. And all the land on the other side in Canada, where they could come from, in the Canadian Shield, you will see that there's no thing higher than 1,300 feet, so no glaciers could have came from there. And by that time, the glaciers would have dissolved. Sunday Rock would have dissolved at the same time. Here we are at Rhyolite Rock. You can see it's igneous, extrusive. That means it comes out of the ground. Fine grain. Down here you can see it's acid. So if it's over acid, it'll make all the rock sand. Come to the volcano, and it's like these rocks erupt from a volcano with explosive violence. Okay. And if they got some bands around here, that's Rhyolite. Here is banded rhyolite. I showed you that. Okay. Color is generally an accurate indication of chemistry. Here we go again. Igneous rock characteristics. This is one of the books I got when I metal detecting, so I can learn as much as I can quickly, because I'm 3/4 century years old. This is cinnabar. A mineral form it usually comes forms with regular and pyrite around volcanoes, vents, and hot springs. Sulfides and simplifies, whatever that is. Well, that's the end of Paul Tully's volcano, Rhyolite Volcano. And the other two volcanoes are a different kind. And they're going to have a different movie. So make sure you subscribe to Century New Technologies Company Incorporated and 22nd Century New Technologies Company. Make sure you subscribe to both of them so you'll get all of our videos that come out.